Pause now for this regional break. Be a good bout, and we're looking forward to a 119-pound championship in Evansville for round one. Zamora again quickly comes out. He's in the white. Solid black belongs to Clarence Adams, and it's like a carbon copy of the way Adams came out in his semifinal last time against Tyrone Burton. Came out, Burton landed some early shots, but finally coming up with the win was Adams to move to the finals. Wow, what an active person.
These boxers are throwing a lot of punches in here. I didn't expect to see them come out and be quite this active to begin with, although I knew they're both capable of it. I think they're very evenly matched, though, as I scan their records, as I scan their height, their weight. They appear to be evenly styled in the ring. I think it can be some real close competition in this particular bout.
12 is the key number for both these fighters. Both have lost only 12 times in their amateur careers. Adams has won 141. Zamora has won 135 fights. So you're talking about some very experienced amateurs.
Now, Adams just might. We have his listing on his background. He's a three-time National Police Athletic League champion, former National Silver Gloves champion, and he was also a three-time Ohio State Fair champion. So he may have the edge at this level of competition.
What you love about when they get to this level, Van, is the fact that, boy, you take those press clippings and throw them right out the window, because when a kid wants a fight, he wants a fight, and that's what apparently Zamora has done against Adams here so far in round one.
That's exactly right. I'm telling you, no one is impressed by anyone else in this ring. That bell rings, and you got to go with what got you there. You have to earn it, and that's one of the nice things about this program is the cream does rise to the top. The gateways are there, and these young boxers can earn their way to the top of that mountain. That's the Junior Olympic ideals firmly put into place right here.
You see Zamora in the white shirt is a young man who is a little bit more unorthodox, not quite the polished boxer. Adams is a guy that stands up straight, throws the combination with some pretty good power, and they have both thrown it with equal ability here in round number one. So the war in the 119-pound division has started. We'll be back with round number two. You're watching Junior Olympic Boxing here on Sports Channel. Al, who was his brother-in-law who works with him in the corner, as the bleeding stopped as we're in round number two of the scheduled 4-3, 2 minutes in duration of fighting, a minute between rounds. And you saw the very quick hand speed that time of Clarence Adams, young man in the solid black.
Clarence Adams' strength just happened to be a good combination. He's a good power puncher, can deliver with either hand. He's got a good left jab, and he seems to circle very well. He found himself over against the ropes and circled right out of that situation. Very fine style.
You're watching this fight. Should he get Zamora in any kind of trouble, and I say this from a competitive standpoint, nothing derogatory to the young man. He's got a little bit of a killer instinct in him. We saw that in his semifinal last night. When he got his man in trouble last night, he came right at him, Tyrone Burton. And finally, they stopped the fight in the second round. So if he gets Zamora in trouble, he'll get right in on top of him.
He is a tough young man, Clarence Adams. But one of the strengths about Zamora is that Zamora can take a punch, and he proved that. He's been in competition every day of this tournament, progressing to this championship bout here today.
Ben, how tough is that for a youngster to fight so many times? I mean, let's face it, for many of these fighters, the third fight within a 3-day period here. This is awfully tough.
I think it's tough, but the nice thing about youth is that they recover so well and they recover so quick. Sam, if that was you or myself in the ring, I don't think we could handle something like this, certainly as many bouts in that many days.
I would be over in the Palmer Clinic for chiropractic for sure here in Davenport.
What a place to be, though. A real fine place to be.
Zamora is getting a good combination. Adams is doing a good job of countering pretty well. Round number two as a caution is given to Zamora. So round two looks like a carbon copy of round one. No one taking a clear decision so far in this 119-pound division. In Junior Olympic Boxing here on Sports Channel.
All right, you're leaving, all right? You got to go up in this ground right here and get her, okay?
Into the body, open forward inside too, okay?
Comes out, the style's quite obviously very different as we move to round number three. And now there's a stoppage very quickly as they want to take a look at that nose of Zamora, as he did have a little more bleeding in between the rounds.
Good chance to get a look at our coordinating ringside physician. Joe Estwanek from Charlotte, North Carolina. We have several physicians working this competition, but the referee called Dr. Estwanek into the ring to have a look at Zamora's nose. And whatever the ringside physician says goes. There's no asking questions. The recommendation is taken as final. And if he says it's over, it's over.
Well, apparently he says it's all right. You know, one of the things about Adams setting in the other corner, he's over there, was on a little roll at the end of round number 2. He was ready to go, and then a little bit of momentum for a moment is taken away. But the second you start thinking about that, Zamora's right in your face here in the 3rd round.
I don't think Daniel Zamora's hurt very well. I think a slight trickle of blood, and also it looks like he has a slight cut on the bridge of his nose. I think the referee might have thought there might have been some bone structure damage there, but Dr. Estwanek says no problem.
That was a second caution for Zamora for holding behind the head of Adams. 3 cautions brings on a warning and a point deduction. Ron Whitmer, the referee here in the 3rd round of this 119-pound championship fight. Zamora, a very quick start 1st round. Adams finally started to get his power going near the end of round 1. Solid round 2, and now you see him here in the 3rd.
We hear a lot of leather popping, but you hear leather popping 2 reasons. Number 1, the gloves make contact with each other. And then number 2, that open face portion of the glove, just like that strong roundhouse left just now by Clarence Adams, the open face portion of the glove made contact with the head guard of Daniel Zamora. That's not a scoring blow, but it makes an awful sound.
Well, here's the 1-point deduction by the referee, Ron Whitmer, and that was for a holding behind the head again for Zamora. So we pointed out the 2nd caution. He got a 3rd, and there's the point deduction, and that could be a very tough one for Zamora before this fight is over.
That's going to hurt Zamora in this particular bout, but I have to credit the official, because not only do younger boxers recover quicker, but they also adhere to the rules a little bit quicker, old habits. So these referees are going to move in, they're going to call the rules, and these guys are going to learn from this experience, Sam.
Well, as they tee off, the 3 commands the referees are asked to give in the ring, that of course are break. They are not, of course, in conversation with the boxers unless it's absolutely necessary, as you saw in a stoppage a moment ago. They're there simply to officiate, and that's what they do.
Folks understand what's going on in the ring around here, but when you get involved with international competition, those boxers can't understand you.
Boy, that left hook of Adams is a devastating blow, and now he's being warned to keep that glove in the scoring area. He's hitting with a little open fist again. And there's the bell to end round 3 as they exchange big right hands right at the bell.
Those final seconds into round 3 really rang home true for Clarence Adams. He just kind of moved over and said, I'm going to try to seal this on you, my friend Daniel Zamora, and landed a good solid right on Zamora. I think that kind of stuck him right at the end. I think Zamora was glad to see that round end.
Well, the 1989 Silver Gloves champion, and of course, as we pointed out, the Police Athletic League champion for the past 3 years. Clarence Adams got a brand new due for this competition as well, as Daniel Zamora came out early. But again, in the 3rd round, Adams continued to throw those very, very sharp combinations.
Adams looking for a home with that left hook, finds it, moves in, looking for the body, then winds up pushing Zamora off just a little bit and gets ready to receive a caution. But Adams stays with it all the way. Roundhouse, moves in, right cross, and that stunned and pushed Daniel Zamora back just a little bit.
Well, I think we labeled this fight as a good power fight as you take a good look at Clarence Adams and that new do. As once again we told you that both would come out slinging leather, and quite obviously Adams coming out with some very heavy punches after Daniel Zamora came out very strong in round number 1.
We've referred to it before, Sam, but heart, you just can't say a younger boxer or a smaller boxer has heart. What we're seeing is big heart in bigger sized boxers.
Well, sometimes you're always hating to see one youngster win and one win, but let's lose. We'll find out which one it is. Here's the decision.
We have the winner from Evansville, Indiana, Region 5, Clarence Adams. And receiving the silver medal is Daniel Zamora from Santa Fe Springs, California.
Well, Clarence Adams comes up with a unanimous 5-0 win over Daniel Zamora to fight the start by Zamora.